What's up? What's going on, man? I'm here. We here, man. Let's get it. Let's not waste no time. Let's dive into the conversation, man. Where you at? The nerve of these devils. Yeah. He said he fed up. He said white people ain't pissed off enough. Right? And I listened to everything he said without getting emotional, right? Because when you get emotional, you're not gonna soak things in the way that you should. So you gotta listen with an open mind, right? So that's what it is, man. Shout out to everybody. Let's run these numbers up, man. Hold on one second. Get up in here and let's run these numbers up. She said, "You on time?" Yes, I'm on time. I be doing a lot of things, man, at once. So I be taking care of business and then trying to meet my schedule at a certain time. So sometimes we be forced to push it back. But right now, like I said, we on time today. It said 8:40. Guess what? I'm here at 8:40. Well, he's a white supremacist, man. Let's be real. I know what a white supremacist look like. You see this tattoo right there? It's like it's similar to a swastika, right? So sometimes they get those crosses. It's similar to a swastika, man. So you got to understand that. And then when you see skulls like this, especially when you see lightning bulbs, those are white supremacist tattoos for sure. You're gonna notice that most white supremacists got that tat, like the one on his arm right here. And I'm gonna show you as soon as we get into the video. But I need you guys to get up in here and hit that like button. He said white people are fed up. This is why everyone has black fatigue. Black people are the ones pretending to be a victim when in reality, Austin was the one who lost his life. A white life was lost. So he said, I asked everybody a question. Does white lives matter? Carmelo's alive and Austin is deceased. So why is it that black people are so pissed off with whites? We're the victims here. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that, but I need you guys to tap in and don't play with this game. No, sir. Oh, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. You know what it is, baby. Let me see what's going on right here. Yeah, man. For sure. This whole situation with Carmelo Anthony, and the crazy part about it is white people can't take nothing. It's like, they're looking weak. If you look at everything that blacks have endured, everything that we endured in this country coming from you guys, you don't even have the room to complain about anything. Like it just makes no sense at this point. If you look at what black people went through compared to what white people went through, you can't even compare the two. There's no comparison. If black people had the same problems that white people had, we wouldn't even be complaining. White people ain't never went through Jim Crow. They never been enslaved. They've never had dogs sicked on them. They never been lynched and hung for the color of their skin. They never been discriminated on. They've never dealt with none of that. In other words, black people ain't never created laws to oppress them, but they did create laws to oppress us. So, nah, man, if we had white people's problems, we wouldn't even be complaining. There would be nothing to complain about. Seriously. If you want to talk about being entitled, white people are the best definition of entitlement. They're the best definition of entitlement. They feel like they should run this country based on the fact that they have white skin. Now they'll flip it and say, no, that's because we have higher IQs and we're more intelligent. They'll say all that nonsense, but we know it's nonsense. But they'll try to convince you that blacks have lower IQs. White people are more intelligent, which means they are more fit to run the country, right? So that's what they're going to say. We already know it's more so based on the color of their skin and their white supremacy with their white supremacist ideologies. So in their mind, they're smarter, they're more intelligent, they're more structured, they're more organized. In other words, that makes them more fit to run the country. Black people need to take a back seat and listen to white people. That's the mindset of a white supremacist. But anyway, let's get it. Let me fix something real quick, man. As soon as we get to the 10-minute mark, man, we're gonna dive right into the conversation, man. We're gonna dive right into it. Yeah. We're gonna dive right into it, man. Dang, we ain't gonna play no games with them. Hold on, you guys. We're gonna dive in, man. I'm just fixing something. I had to edit something. I had to edit something real quick. That's all we doing. Let's see if this works right here, because I had a little. All right. They playing games. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do it just like this. Do it just like this. I ain't even gonna play with them. I ain't gonna play no games like that. All right, there we go, man. So get up in here. Let's have the show. Let's see. I want y'all to see what this white guy had to say about black people. He said, white people ain't mad enough. In other words, he's telling white people to stand up and deal with black people accordingly. Let's get into the content, family.
I've heard a lot about justice for Karmelo, right?
Yeah. No, this was right after the verdict, right? After the verdict, you had white people walking around with microphones interviewing black people, and a lot of black people were pissed off. So let's get his take on the whole situation. Let's go.
Miller, I would have stabbed that nigga too.
Why?
Hey, I would have did it to him. I promise I would have. I would have did it to him.
But why?
I would have did it to him and his brother.
Okay, but for what reason?
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Them little boys came looking for trouble. I had to whisper to you.
So
You want me to whisper it to you?
no, I just
You want me to whisper it to you?
you can talk in.
You want me to whisper it to you?
Well, you're yelling right
All right,
now.
then. Play with somebody else. I'm a real gangster. Play with somebody else. I'll you up.
I'm just trying to get like some insight into the situation. There we have it, guys. From a real gangster.
Folks, we are not mad enough. We're not mad enough. Austin Metcalf was stabbed in the heart over a small altercation at a high school track. Something that should have been just a couple of shoves and been done with it. But Karmelo Anthony was never taught to handle anything with honor in his life. He was taught violence. He was taught fuck white people.
And Karmelo Anthony was taught violence. See, it's one thing for you to say, I don't like how those black people were hostile. They could have handled the situation better with the damn conversation. You know, when a white boy walked over with the microphone. If you would have said that, I would say, okay, cool. But for you to say that Karmelo was taught violence and how to hate white people, you're telling a bold-faced lie. This is why you cannot trust white people. They lie too much. Karmelo was taught violence. This is the only time he's been in trouble. There's no evidence. You have no evidence to prove that Karmelo was taught violence. You're just talking. You have no proof, no evidence to prove that he was taught violence. You know that white kid that walked in Tops grocery store in Buffalo, New York, 2023 with an assault rifle, unalive 10 black people at once? He was taught violence by your people. He was a white supremacist in the making. Dylan Roof, who shot up a black church, Charleston, South Carolina. He was taught violence by your people. White supremacist. You got another white supremacist who shoots up a Dollar General in Jacksonville, Florida, 2023. He was taught violence by your people, white supremacists. The nerve of this fool. I'm going to be quiet and let it play, but I had to say something.
Play with somebody else. I'm a real gangster. Play with somebody else.
I'm just trying to get like some insight into the situation. There we have it, guys. From a real gangster.
Folks, we are not mad enough. We're not mad enough. Austin Metcalf was stabbed in the heart over a small altercation at a high school track. Something that should have been just a couple of shoves and been done with it. But Karmelo Anthony was never taught to handle anything with honor in his life. He was taught violence. He was taught fuck white people. And if you don't believe that, look at all the people who are defending him. It's just pure fuck white people. And that's fine. We don't care. We don't care at all. You can hate us all you want, but then don't come and claim racism when nobody wants to fucking be around you. You understand?
We don't need to be around. What about Chud the Builder? Was he taught violence? Was Chud the Builder taught violence, racism, and ignorance? Exactly. That's exactly what he was taught. But you don't want to hold an L for people like Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder is a product of white supremacy.
But then don't come. Look at all the people who are defending him. It's just pure fuck white people. And that's fine. We don't care. We don't care at all. You can hate us.
Jake Lang is a product of white supremacy. He said he wanted to hang Karmelo by a rope in front of the courthouse. How did Jake Lang learn how to be so violent? Oh, he learned it from white supremacists, your people.
All you want, but then don't come and claim racism when nobody wants to fucking be around you. You understand how that works? Do you? I'm just making sure we're all clear here, because if you're talking shit and expressing hate towards somebody, they are not required to hire you. They are not required to like you. They are not required to hold the door open for you, sit next to you in a diner.
We don't want to sit next to you. We don't need you to like us. Stay the hell away from us. We'll stay the hell away from you. I don't know where they get this nonsense that black people are just begging white people to like them. Sambos might beg you guys to like them. Bed wenches might beg white people to like them. But us stumped down black people who take pride in who we are, I don't give a damn if white people don't like me. I don't need to be friends with you. I don't even need to be around you.
Even look your direction, just so we're all clear. And it's not all of them, but it's the majority, and we're fucking done with it. You. They are not required to like you. They are not required to hold the door open for you, sit next to you in a diner, or even look your direction, just so we're all clear. And it's not all of them, but it's the majority, and we're fucking done with it. This Austin Metcalf murder has been the wildest shit I have ever seen in my life. You look at all the reactions out there, and it's almost like a black person got killed. It's almost like it was reversed. It's almost like Austin Metcalf killed Karmelo Anthony. People out there saying, oh, we're going to go and fuck white people up. Oh, fuck white people over this. Are you guys fucking stupid? A black kid killed a white kid. If anyone should be doing that, it's us, but we're not. Because what is it going to do? It's not going to bring him back. We're not going to go riot in the streets, because that's what y'all do. Y'all go and burn down a fucking Walgreens, or
you burn down whole communities. You burn down Rosewood, black community. You burn down Ocoee, Florida. You bomb Tulsa, Oklahoma. You destroyed Wilmington, North Carolina. You destroyed Elaine, Arkansas. You destroyed Oscarville, Georgia. Racist, white supremacists, mobs of racist white people destroyed all those black communities that I just named. Nobody's more violent and radical than a white supremacist white male. Nobody's more violent than him. Nobody in this country has gotten away with unaliving people. You can't name another race that's gotten away with unaliving people at the same rate or in the same numbers that white men have gotten away with unaliving our people. You see what I'm saying? And the so-called red Indian as well. You can throw them in there. They annihilated them as well. Nobody has caused more chaos, death, and destruction than a white supremacist in this country. Well, you can say white supremacists globally. If we want to get down to the nitty-gritty, the truth ain't never pretty. Matter of fact, it gets ugly. But let's get back to the content, though. The nerve of these people. Nobody's more violent and radical than a white male, the white supremacist. I have the data. I got the stats to prove it. I'm not just talking. Unlike you, I'm not just talking. Karmelo was taught violence. I gave you several examples of how white supremacists, white males were taught violence by white supremacists, their people. I gave several examples about churches being shot up, churches being bombed in Birmingham, Alabama, churches being shot up in Charleston, South Carolina, grocery stores being shot up. And all of this is by the hands of white supremacists, his people. But he want to point at us and say that we're violent. Name a time in history where a black man has bombed a white church. And if they did it in retaliation. They didn't do it just because they hated white people. They did it in response to what you did to us. Another thing I want to say before I get back into the content. Show me a black man that walks into a white church full of white people that are praying to God and he just shoots it up because he wants to unalive white people so bad. Show me the black man who's done that. But I can show you white men who's bombed black churches, who have shot up black churches. I can show you white men who's done this. But according to him, we're the ones that's violent. According to him, Karmelo Anthony was taught violence and he was taught how to hate white people. According to this guy, he has no proof. He's just talking.
Walmart or go steal. Do y'all do? It's not going to bring him back. We're not going to go riot in the streets because that's what y'all do. Y'all go and burn down a fucking Walgreens or a Walmart or go steal a whole bunch of deodorants and toilet paper when something happens to you. You know what we do? We pay respect to the family. We try to figure out how we're going to combat this. And the way we combat it is we just don't interact with you anymore. And you earn that. The reaction that is out there is absurd. If you were black and you were in the black community and you don't agree with it, you need to stand the fuck up against your people. You need to stand the fuck up.
We need to stand up against our people. But he's not going to check his people. Your people just raised $1 million for Chud the Builder, and all he did was walk around saying the N-word. That's what Chud is known for. His claim to fame is being a racist, white supremacist, and an asshole. Your people donated millions. Your people donated $1 million to that guy. Why don't you check your people, buddy? It's mighty funny that we got to check our people, but they won't check their people. Man, please.
Up and start being a leader because it's not going to change otherwise.
You need to start being a leader. Where's the leaders in your community? You gave your women feminism. Your women brainwashed our women with that nonsense. You allowed the white woman to protest and say women's rights and feminism, my body, my choice. All that old bullshit. You the one that allowed your woman to run reckless with that. Then black women picked it up from what? Black women picked up feminism from liberal white women. Where's your leadership? You created racism, hatred in this country, and your women created feminism. Where's your leadership, Billy? Where's your masculinity and leadership, Billy? You blacks need to do something about this. You need to teach blacks to stop being violent towards white folks. Where's your leadership? You need to teach those blacks.
Or people. You need to stand. If you were black and you were in the black community and you don't agree with it, you need to stand the fuck up against your people. You need to stand the fuck up and start being a leader because it's not going to change otherwise. All of these people out there saying, oh yeah, fuck white people because of this. What exactly did we do in this situation? I'm just curious. Do you want us to say, oh, yes, please kill white people and you can get away with it? You deserve it. It's reparations. What do you want us?
You guys bummed our communities and got away with it. None of those white men who unalived Emmett Till was ever brought to justice. They got away with it. You guys got away with burning down our towns. You guys have gotten away with lynching our people, destroying our businesses, burning our communities, and no one was ever held accountable. You talk about the lack of accountability from the white community.
Say, seriously. On top of all of this, this is Carmelo Anthony's Give, Send, Go page. He earned $626,000 fucking dollars for killing someone in cold blood.
White supremacists raised $1 million for a white woman, and all she did was call a black child an N-word. You guys raised millions of dollars for her. Daniel Penny choked somebody out who didn't put his hands on anybody. He didn't put his hands on Daniel. He didn't put his hands on Daniel Penny. He didn't put his hands on anybody. And white people justified him unaliving, strangling Jordan nearly to death. Your people raised millions of dollars for that. Your people justified it. See, it's mighty funny when you think about, listen, it's crazy when you see how hypocritical these people really are. It's okay for them to raise money for white supremacists, but we're not supposed to support Karmelo. We black folks, we're supposed to turn our back on our people. Turn our back on our people while you guys fund white supremacists. Yes, that's a great idea, Billy. We're going to turn our back on our people while you guys continue to fund white supremacists. Do you really think we're that stupid? See, it is a problem when we support our people. Nobody likes black people coming together. Listen, black unity is their biggest fear. They raised $1 million for a white woman. And the only thing she's known for is calling that child an N-word. Your people raised $1 million for that, and they justified it.
$626,000 fucking dollars for killing someone in cold blood. $626,000. Are you fucking shitting me? People are being paid to kill people in this country. And then we got black people out there now bragging about when they've killed white people, how they
have black people. You know what they say? The blacks, black people. Anytime you hear a white person say black people, he's disgusted. Like, I just can't say black people. Make sure that y'all get the likes up for this one, man. Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everybody, man. The spirit is real today. The spirit is real today, man.
People in this country. And then shitting me, people are being paid to kill people in this country. And then we got black people out there now bragging about when they've killed white people, how they see it as a badge of honor, which we're about to show. But let me be fucking clear, because this is how most of America feels at this point. I'm just the one delivering the message. We don't want to.
No, what he's saying is everyone is tired of black people. I just have the ball. I just got enough balls to say it. In other words, everyone is sick of black people, and this is a prime example of why everybody's sick of black people. My thing is this: what about all the unalivings you guys did? A white guy just shot up a church last year in Michigan. Another white guy shot up an elementary school full of children. But ain't nobody sick of you. Another white supremacist shot up Florida State University. But ain't nobody tired of y'all. We have no reason to be sick of y'all. And you guys have gotten away with a ton of BS in this country. You guys shot up a church and burned it. Your people did that in Michigan last year, buddy. Your people shot up an elementary school full of white children. Your people did it, buddy. Charlie Kirk got unalived. Your people did it. Your people unalived Charlie Kirk, buddy. Why don't you take a long look in the mirror, you hypocrite? Charlie Kirk was your hero. He was the hero for the white community. Who took him out? Another white man. But you're so busy talking about black fatigue that you won't look in your own backyard. If Charlie Kirk spent more time focusing on the threat that was coming from his own community, maybe he would still be alive today. Nah, but Charlie Kirk couldn't see the threat that was lingering in his own backyard, the threat that was coming from his own people. Charlie Kirk was too blind to see that. Charlie Kirk was too busy talking about black fatigue and the problems in the black community that don't even affect him.
Be friends. Be fucking clear. Because this is how most of America feels at this point. I'm just the one delivering the message. We don't want to be friends. We don't want to fucking hang out. We don't want to hire you. We don't want to sit at the table with you. We don't want to even look your fucking direction. If you don't come up to us with a extreme amount of kindness and respect, do your own fucking thing. Do your own fucking thing. And it's not racism. I want to be clear. It has nothing to do with color. Unfortunately, that problem exists extremely common.
You notice how they say it has nothing to do with color? When this country was built on racism and color, whites only, blacks eat over there, blacks drink over there. You had veterans. You had U.S. veterans, black men who served in the military, black men who served this country. They get out of the military and they still got to deal with Jim Crow. So it's obvious that they're not being treated poorly because of the content of their character. No, they were being treated poorly because of their skin color, because of their race. Had nothing to do with the content of their character. Let me tell you something, white people. You can't complain about a problem that you started. You guys created racism. You benefited from it. This country was built on racism, segregation, and hatred. You guys created all of that. You can't turn around and complain about something that you created, Billy. You created this sickness called racist. You deal with it. It's going to take white people to end it because white people started it. Stop complaining about some shit that your people created, Billy. We don't need to be around you, Billy. And the first thing they want to say, well, this has nothing to do with race. It got everything to do with race. What you talking about, Billy?
In the black community, extreme amount of kindness and respect. Do your own fucking thing. Do your own fucking thing. And it's not racism. I want to be clear. It has nothing to do with color. Unfortunately, that problem exists extremely common in the black community. But let's remove color. That's my standard with everyone. But if you're out there saying, oh man, fuck white people, after one in your community just killed one of ours, okay, we got it. You hate us. I'm not worried about it. Doesn't change my life a bit. But as soon as you start claiming racism, as soon as you start claiming equality issues and all that other fucking bullshit, just remember that you were the reason why it exists. Because there is nothing more I would love to do than to go to a diner and not have to worry about a group of black people causing a problem there. Or going to...
You hear how he's blaming us for something that his people created, that his people perpetuated? But he want to lay it on our doorsteps as if it's our fault when your people are the ones that created racism, hatred, and division in this country. The United States of America was built on white supremacy, Billy. The United States of America was built on white supremacy, Billy. Have you forgot the history?
Walmart and not worrying about a group of black people stealing all of the fucking groceries there.
You're going to have to worry about a group of black people stealing all the fucking groceries there. You can't even go to a Walmart without black people stealing everything. Well, your people stole the country. You really want to complain about us stealing some groceries, but your people stole the whole country. You slaughtered people, unaligned them. Some people will say, well, that's capitalism or whatever, right? But these would be the same people that would demonize a petty black criminal for something that he's doing out of survival or for whatever reason. But you have no problem with white people stealing the whole damn country. These people, listen, they are the biggest thieves and the biggest criminals ever. Nobody can top the white man when it comes to criminality and racism in this country. No one can top that. Nobody can top the white man when it comes to criminality. and racism in this country. What are you talking about, Billy? You need to take a long look in the mirror. Your people created all this nonsense that we're dealing with in this country. The United States of America was built on white supremacy, Billy, and you can't tell me I'm lying. You want to sit up here and complain about some shit that your people started, that your people created.
Why it exists, because there is nothing more I would love to do than to go to a diner and not have to worry about a group of black people causing a problem there, or going to Walmart and not worrying about a group of black people stealing all of the fucking groceries there. There's nothing more that I would love. Unfortunately, that's just not how the fucking world works anymore. But why don't we go into this? Just because everyone's like, oh yeah, we killed a white person, but we're upset.
Now, this right here is a white supremacist tattoo. These right here, now they're going to say it's not. They're going to say it stands for something else. This right here is a low-key swastika. I'm telling you. So instead of just getting a swastika, a lot of white boys get these tattoos. A lot of white supremacists get these type of tattoos. These skulls too. When you see these skulls like that, that's another white supremacist tattoo. You got, like those skull and bones and these crosses. Those are all symbols of white supremacy. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. And when you see those lightning bulbs, that's another sign, and it's another symbol of white supremacy. Instead of just saying white power, they get these symbols because that's more low key. Now, if you go to prison, you're gonna see some white boys, some Nazis that got white power tatted on them. You're gonna see that in prison. But when you gotta get back in society, you want to be more low key. White boys still got tattoos that say white supremacy, but they get it in symbols and signs like the skulls, this right here, and the lightning bolts, and the bones, the cracked bones, and all of that. Those are all symbols of white supremacy, family. I'm trying to put y'all up on game. They're just trying to be low key about white supremacy when they get these tattoos that does like this.
Here's Charleston White bragging that he killed a white guy. Charleston White bragging a white person, but we're upset. Here's Charleston White bragging that he killed a white guy, watched him die, stood over him, and he sees it as a badge of fucking honor.
Son too, I served time for killing a white man, nigga. Front page paper. My brother killed a nigga. My homeboy killed a nigga. I'm the only black man I know that ever served time for killing a white man, nigga. Stood over and watched him die. That's a badge of honor to me, and white people can't take that from me. So during these times,
Charleston White is ignorant, man. He's ignorant. The next minute he'll be apologizing to white people. The fact that you got to use Charleston White, and Charleston White is an internet troll. I don't approve of anything that Charleston White does. Charleston White says things for money and attention. Now, you can say everybody on the internet wants money and attention. Yes, true indeed. But at the same time, we're not willing to say any and everything to get it. I use my talent to get money. I don't come up here saying ridiculous things for shock value. I don't say ridiculous things that I can't stand on in real life. Charleston will say anything as long as it fits the moment, as long as he can capitalize off of it and get in the damn algorithm. So the fact that you got to use Charleston White as an example, you're reaching. You're reaching.
I close my eyes, my heart smile, because I done something I know they wish I was dead for, nigga.
So I'm just curious, what do you think this is doing, Charleston? What do you think this is doing to race relations? I honestly don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a fuck. Here we have Jasmine Crockett justifying Carmelo Anthony stabbing Austin Metcalf.
35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining, and simply didn't want to be put out in the rain by some random kid that he didn't know who was larger than him. Listen, a lot of people don't know what it is to live as a black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police officers when they go out and they shoot some black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this black boy said that I was scared, or the fact 35 years for a kid.
See, this is the problem. Is you can have an argument to where you can say, oh, he thought he was scared, and can you have mercy? But look at what the black community is doing right now. They're saying that they're going to go out and hurt white people. They're saying they're going to go attack them. They are saying that people need to dig up Austin Metcalf. If anything, we have contempt. We have is you can have an argument to where you can say, oh, he thought he was scared, and can you have mercy? But look at what the black community is doing right now. They're saying that they're going to go out and hurt white people. They're saying they're going to go attack them. They are saying that people need to dig up Austin Metcalf and stab him again. So any level of remorse goes out the fucking window. If anything, we have contempt. We have sickness. We feel sick. So here is Austin Metcalf's dad, and he is very, very fired up.
Get the likes up, family. I need everybody that's watching right now to get the damn likes up. This show is very important. This ain't no nonsense right here, right? This conversation is meaningful.
Apparently people found some other Jeffrey Metcalf, and he's a sex offender, and they're trying to bring that up. I looked him up, and in Texas, if you're a sex offender, you have to register, and he's not on there. So I don't know where these people are finding this stuff, but this is his reaction to what happened here.
How poetic justice is served. You just do a big softball and knock it out of the park. Thank you for making it so easy for me. So you can live.
We got 200 some people watching. We need at least 200 some likes. To all you cloud watchers and all you haters, hit the like button. It ain't gonna kill you to hit that like button, man. Let's go.
With your lie if you want to, but my truth is forever. Just like the fact your son is a convict and a killer. Forever. Forever is a long time. What's your master plan, Mr. Anthony? To use your son as income and soak up as much money playing victim to line your pockets and then abandon him when he's at sentencing or victim impact? You just left him up there by himself? Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. What about you, Drew? What kind of father are you? You want to talk about what kind of father? All right, let's talk about what kind of father you are. Let's talk about your arrest. Let's talk about your warrants. Oh, was it drugs? Coke? You did? Tell me some other shit. Let's pull it up.
So look, clearly he is very mad, and taking the high road is important.
Shout out to my girl Steffi for blessing us with that 40, that Juneteenth 40 piece. Shout out to you, sweetie. I appreciate you for your love and support. The 40 piece for Juneteenth. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to Vernon 85 with the 5. Shout out to my man Craig for coming through with the 15. Yeah.
But he just had his son stabbed to death over a little bullshit push. So I completely understand where he's coming from. This is the reality of the world.
We don't know if it was a BS push. We just really don't know, man. You know, you're just going off of you're taking white people's word for it, but you're a white guy, so of course you're gonna take white people's word for it. I get it. Well, why is it a problem when we take our people's word, but it's not a problem when you guys take your people's word? Oh, I get it. And why didn't I say so? What you say as a black person don't matter. What I'm saying is the truth because I ain't white. I ain't white and I say so. I ain't white, which means I'm right. You're black. That means that you're wrong. Now, they're not saying that verbatim. I'm paraphrasing, but trust and believe I understand what words mean. I could read between the lines.
World we are living in, folks, and it's unfortunate, and people really, really, really need to wake up.
He one of them country white guys who believe in guns and, you know, he one of them country white boys is preparing his people for war. He's not saying, and listen, man, he's not saying what he really wants to say. Shout out to Sinful to P, man. A lot of Sinful to P stuff been showing up in my feed. Rest in peace to the homie Sinful to P. you know. But let's get into this. Here's another clip. We're going to break some of this down, buddy. Let's go. They really want a race war, right? He's speaking to us.
Hey, we glad Austin dead. I'm glad Austin is dead. He's a bitch ass dude.
You notice he ain't said nothing about Jake Lane saying that he wants to hang Karmelo in front of the court building if he's found not guilty. Do you know if Karmelo was found not guilty, these white supremacists was ready to turn up? How many of you guys are really prepared? How many of you guys are really prepared? If Carmelo Anthony was found not guilty, those white supremacists was ready to turn up. I promise you. This white dude, listen, this white dude on the screen, he's not saying what he really wants to say. Imagine what he says when he's around his white friends. Oh, just imagine what he says when he's around his white friends. If Carmelo Anthony was found not guilty, these white supremacists was ready to turn up. You better believe it.
You guys knew he was a bully. You guys knew he was a bully. You guys knew that the
I want you guys to know that I am 6 foot even. My phone is at my head, and the guy in the back is his brother.
You guys knew that were bullies.
Carmelo Anthony was 5'9", 5'8", something like that.
So, folks, unfortunately, this Carmelo Anthony thing has really set some people up a wall. I'm still getting messages from black people having some really, really interesting things said to me. And for those of you who are watching who are like, oh, I think it's a good idea to go and message Dan and tell him that I'm going to go, I don't know, off him in the middle of the night. Let me just save you some time. I am not scared of you. I'm not scared of whoever you're going to send after me. But let me just say this. If you do send somebody, make sure you send somebody that you don't give a shit about, because you're not getting them back. Fair? Where I live, you're not going to walk up to my front door and try to sell me solar. It's about a mile long. You got to jump a bunch of gates, and you're going to have a scope on you before you even get halfway down the drive.
See, I can tell by how he's talking. I've been around white guys like this. He's militant, and he's telling black people like, I'm not one of those white boys you can push around. You know, I'm trained, I'm skilled. You're not going to just come after me and I'm going to sit there and do nothing. Like I said, he's telling you in a nice way that white supremacists are prepared for war. They're sick of blacks and they're ready for war with us. That's exactly what he's saying in so many words. Just read between the lines. We're not playing with your blacks. We're ready to go to war with you guys. We're fed up. We've been fed up with blacks. Everybody is fed up with blacks. That's exactly what he's saying.
So my recommendation would be don't. By the way, folks, me solar. It's about a half mile long. You got to jump a bunch of gates, and you're going to have a scope on you before you even get halfway down the driveway. So my recommendation would be don't. By the way, folks, we are selling fatigued hats in our store. So seems pretty fair. There's going to be a link and discount code below the video.
All right. We get that.
Where a black person was killed and a white person was killed and a white person killed situation where a black person was, and one could assume that this is a situation where a black person was killed and a white person killed them from the outrage on the black side. But that's not what happened. What happened is a black kid killed a white kid in cold blood, and black people are still mad, and they're still saying they're going to go and kill more white people. It is true.
White people still pissed off about O.J. Simpson. You got white people still running around pissed off about O.J. Come on, buddy.
Really one of the most low IQ takes out there. Anyways, I do want to say that there have been a lot of
one of the most low IQ takes I ever seen, buddy.
Takes out there. Anyways, I do want to say that there have been a lot of black people who have DM'd one of the most low IQ takes out there. Anyways, I do want to say that there have been a lot of black people who have DM'd me saying, look, these people don't speak for all of us. We're really even sorry. Some of them are apologizing for the entire black community. And look, I really appreciate that. And I know it's not every black person, but there is a culture problem. And I'm going to let this guy say it.
And you can't manage niggas. You can't trust me. I've been working with them for 45 years. A nigga just ain't gonna do the right thing. He got an attitude about everything. Pastor Manning, he ain't for the black man. He against the black man. Then you got rap music. Damn. And it gets worse. Our youth today, you go to Daytona Beach, I don't know if y'all seen some of the videos. They even go to Ruth Chris restaurant now. They're like a bunch of monkeys. I swear before God. Black Gen Zers, somewhere between 15 and 30, they're like monkeys. They're like marauding monkeys, turn loose on shopping malls, restaurants, running amok, knocking over things, fighting and shooting and killing, half naked. They're like monkeys. Send their asses back to the jungle.
So I think that's what I wanted to say just without saying it.
See? Oh my God. That's really what white people want to say. They like, you know what? We're going to use this black man to say it. Like I say, this is why they use Tampon Daniels, an angry man. The fact that Tampon has a black following shows how pathetic a lot of our people are. Tampon Daniels is the speaker and a microphone for white supremacy. He's saying everything that they want, that they really want to say. He just said it himself. Man, I wish I could say this, because if I say this, my channel will get shut down for racism. But in reality, this is how I really feel. I'm glad that I can use a black guy to say it. It feels good that he can use a black man to say it, though.
Half naked. They're like monkeys. Send their asses back to the jungle.
So I think that's what I wanted to say just without saying it, is it's not all black people, but some of them, they want to act like they're hood rats. And America's tired of it. Like, legitimately, we are done and tired of it. So we got a bunch more that I'm going to play here. Once again, folks, look,
make sure that you guys get the likes up, man. We got some old content. We're breaking stuff down. Make sure you get the likes up and don't play with it. Let's get it.
I'm really not trying to focus on this, but ultimately, I think it's important for everyone who is not black to understand where they stand with people like this. Like I said, I've got to clarify, it is not all black people, but it is a lot of them. That's it. I don't live in a very big town. I have to drive a while to get groceries. But even when I go to a little bit of a bigger town to get groceries, this behavior still happens. There are dudes walking in, sagging their pants, talking like they just got out of prison, or talking like they're in a damn rap song, and nobody fucking wants to be around it. So if you embrace your culture, that's great. Yeah. Do it. But then don't be the people who are like, oh man, white people don't like me. No fucking shit, man. No fucking shit.
It's hate speech, whatever, but I hate.
And so he says that white people don't like you. He said, no shit. Okay, well, black people have a reason to not like white people. I'm not saying all black people feel that way, but trust and believe we have a reason to not like white people. All we got to do is look at history. We ain't even got to go back 100 years ago. White people are still shooting up churches. Dylan Roof unalived 10 black people at a black church in 2015. That was only 11 years ago, buddy. Another white supremacist just shot up the grocery store in Buffalo, New York. Shot these people up for no reason. He hated blacks so much, they asked him, why did you do it? Why did you do it? You know what the white guy said? I wanted to eliminate as many black people as possible. I did it in the name of white supremacy. So he's sitting up here pretending like black people ain't got a reason to not like white people. Like white people are just so great and we have no reason to dislike them at all. You talk about somebody who lacks accountability.
These motherfuckers. It's time to start killing these motherfuckers.
Oh, I can't play all that. That's too vulgar.
More young niggas that's under the age of 17 and 16 go fire these folk up. Y'all will be out at 30.
We out here trying to do stuff right. They ain't doing nothing but killing us and hanging us and sending us to jail. Let's crash.
They're telling minors to do this now. I mean, that is the perfect reason why this is happening. Everybody makes a joke of like, oh, you're black, so you grew up with a dad. I don't even think that's a joke. But if it is a joke and they did grow up with their dad, what was their dad telling them? Was he telling him this stuff? Oh, son, you're under 18, so just go run this bag up the street for me, and if you get caught, you're fine because you're not 18. Where do you think they learn it from? Oh, we got more though, folks.
Fuck that nigga Austin METCALF, man. Fuck that nigga Austin.
All right, man. He ain't even bleeping none of this stuff out.
Fucking on Austin, nigga.
Fuck Austin. Glad your ass dead. Free Karmelo.
It's very interesting. Why are y'all calling white people the N-word? I would say it, but I don't know how YouTube's going to feel about that. But why are y'all calling us the N-word? Do we look black to you? No? I thought it was like a cool word that y'all just call each other. But now you're calling it to us? So what does that mean? Does that mean that we can say it now? I mean, nobody actually gives a fuck. The only time y'all do anything about it is when somebody is weaker than you. So what's the deal? Because I'm confused on that. I really am confused. Did something...
The only time we do it is when we know somebody's weaker than us. Okay, well, you enslaved black people because whites had the advantage. We were weaker. You guys had a military. You guys had weaponry. You guys had guns. We didn't have any of that. So you picked on the people that was in a weaker position. You used that to your advantage to enslave black people. Slavery built the economy. Slavery built the economy in this country. Prior to slavery, the United States of America had no money. Slavery is what built the United States economy. Slavery is how the United States of America got wealthy. Let's keep it a stack. Prior to the slave trade, there was nothing here. So it's safe to say that you guys preyed on the weak. You guys had a military, you had weapons, black people did not. White people had superior weaponry, superior firepower, and they picked on the little bitty blacks who were just minding their business, living off the land.
Change?
Should have go dig his ass up and beat his ass again, then stab him again. The fuck?
All right, that's too much, man. It's like black people. That's ignorant right there. We don't combat ignorance with ignorance. Learn how to be militant, but not ignorant. So when we say things like that, when you say things like that, you give people like him ammunition. So please be mindful of what you're saying. Let's get back to the content though.
And look, folks, I got to put a window, I guess, over Austin METCALF's face, because this guy by the name of the Black Tucker Carlson keeps making these memes where it's dead Austin METCALF and Karmelo Anthony is choking him out. Probably some of the most heinous stuff I've ever seen. So what I did is I sent him a message, and the offer still stands. Come on my show, man. Come on my show and tell everybody on here what you think of us. What does it say? What does it say there in your bio? DM for a paid sponsorship. Fuck, man, I'll pay you. Look at this. He posted family of grifters on here. Oh, okay. They're grifters. They're the ones with the give, send, go after they murdered somebody, after they stabbed somebody. Are you fucking stupid? And then he had the balls to post this. Seriously, to the Black Tucker Carlson Jr., come on my show. If you have this much to say, let's discuss it. Come on, man. You're Billy Badass online. Why don't we finish with this woman named Raya, I believe. I just found her online the other day, and she has a lot of great content. She's a woman who despises.
Well, of course, she's a black woman who agrees with white supremacists and white supremacist talking points. So, of course, you like her content. See, anytime you have an Anton Daniels or a Tampon Daniels or an angry woman, white people like him love that because they're saying things that they really want to say. So, of course, you love this woman's content. She's a bed wench.
Where the black community has gone with a lot of this stuff. And here's her piece because I think it's brilliant.
think they're gonna win a race war, and I think that's really fucking hilarious because they don't realize how outnumbered they are when it comes to that type of stuff. Everybody is fucking sick of black people. Everybody is sick of black people. Who's gonna go fight for y'all on the fucking race war? Because it's not gonna be black people like me. It's not gonna be
Of
white.
course, you're not gonna do anything. All you're gonna do is get in the mirror and fix your weave and put some fake eyebrows on and put a pound of makeup on your face. Of course, you're not gonna do anything. We don't expect you to. The least you can do is look like a black woman if you're gonna speak for black people. Don't come up in here with a white woman's. Anyway, let's go. I think you guys understand where I'm going with that. But white people love to hear black people talk like this. They absolutely love it.
Race war. Because it's not gonna be black people like sick of black people. Everybody is sick of black people. Who's gonna go fight for y'all on the fucking race war? Because it's not gonna be black people like me. It's not gonna be white people. It's not gonna be the Mexicans because they're tired too. Everybody's tired. The Asians are tired. How can every fucking race hate y'all? But y'all aren't the problem. It's okay to say that it's.
What do you mean? See, let me show you how ignorant she is. If you go back to the 1800s, post-slavery, there was no such thing as thug culture in the black community. There was no such thing as gang culture. White people still hated us. I would argue that white people hated us more when we were more docile. White people hated us more when we were docile, when we walked around with our head down because we was too afraid to look at a white man, because if you looked at a white man for too long, they might lynch you, they might hang you. White people never needed excuse. White people never needed an excuse to dislike us or to hate us. When black people were docile, wearing suits, going to church every Sunday, going to work and minding their business, white people still hated our guts. So when white people tell you, well, the only reason why we hate you guys is because of thug culture, you hated us way before that. If anything, whites are the ones who created ghettos and the conditions in these black communities and communities all across the country. White people hated us when we was walking around being docile. There was no such thing as thug culture. There was no such thing as gang culture. White people still hated our guts even way back then. Shut your dumb ass up. You don't know what you talking about. Stop speaking for black people with all this fake ass weave on, all this damn makeup and these fake ass eyelashes. The least you can do is look like a real black woman if you're going to speak for black people.
That are the problem. The Asians are tired. How can every fucking race hate y'all? But y'all aren't the problem. It's okay to say that it's that are the problem. A lot of people are so afraid to say that it's the niggers that are the fucking problem. Stupidity is just gonna keep spreading even to the little nigglets that they have. They're spreading their stupidity through generations of niggas. They're teaching them that white is evil. It's really sad how they have to convince themselves that black people are this and that, but what have y'all accomplished that is so this and that where y'all have to act like that? Peanut butter? Like, look at Africa. It's still a shithole because there's no white man there. Y'all are only so.
There's no white man. There's a lot of white people in Africa. Shut up, man. This broad is dumb. She is dumb. This is I bet money she's bobbling on a white man's you know what. Of course, white people like to hear this. If you watch that video, it got a gang of views and she don't know what she's talking about. But my stuff, they shadow ban my stuff. And I understand history. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not just up here running my mouth. A bird brain like this, get up there. A bird brain like this makes a video and it goes viral and she ain't said nothing real. It shows you the nonsense that YouTube loves to promote. She's not intelligent. She's stupid. She don't understand history. She's a bimbo. She's a feminist, and YouTube promotes this nonsense through the algorithm, and she ain't said nothing that makes sense. This is why everybody hates you. Everybody hated black. Listen, they hated us from the beginning of the. They hated us since the inception of this country. White people, listen, they hated us when there was no such thing as gang and drug culture in our community. So it shows you that white people were just bred to hate black people. Of course, they'll use thug culture and this and that today to make it seem like this is the reason that we hate black people. But when you study the history of this country, you realize that white people hated us way before any type of rap music or drug and gang culture existed. They hated us way before that. When you go back to if you go back to the late 1800s, some of the most docile black people you can see were still hung and lynched and attacked by white supremacists for simply just being black. No other reason, just being black. I can't stand black people. I want them out of here. So they attack random black people out of racism and hatred. So when they talk about thug culture, gang culture, and rap music, they're using that as an excuse to cover up their real hatred, their deep-rooted hatred for us. But when you understand the history, they can't use that as an excuse to say this is why they hate us. They hated us way before any of that stuff existed.
Successful here and in Africa because of that, but what have y'all accomplished that is so this and that where y'all have to act like that? Peanut butter? Like, look at Africa. It's still a shithole because there's no white man there. Y'all are.
Do you know a black man invented the gas mask, you dummy, that the military uses? You idiot. I mean, that wig on your head is messing with your brain. The first open heart surgery, black man. The traffic light that we pull up to every day, black man. What do you mean peanut butter? And he's sitting up there giggling as if he don't know what we created in this damn country. There's a long list of things that we've created. I just named 3 just to name a few. I can go all day with the stuff that we created. This stupid ass broad gonna say peanut butter with this wig on her head looking stupid, looking like a damn mannequin.
Only successful here. But what have y'all accomplished that is so this and that where y'all have to act like that? Peanut butter? Like, look at Africa. It's still a shithole because there's no white man there. Y'all are only successful here and in Africa because of the white man. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the race war because what the fuck do y'all have to offer?
And what do you think is going to happen? You think that they're going to be nice to you? So they're going to defeat black people and be nice to you and say, well, you're not like the rest of the blacks. We're going to spare you. You're not like the rest of those blacks. So guess what? We like you. We'll spare you. You can exist in good old white America with us good old white folks. As long as we get rid of the rest of the blacks that we don't want, we're going to spare you because we like you. This woman is sick.
Successful here and in Africa because of the white man. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the race war because what the fuck do y'all have to offer?
Well, I think she's correct. I don't think anybody would fight on the side of black people this time if there was one, because everyone's realistic about how they are now. Majority. Just something to-
how black people are. Who's worse? Nobody has done worse things to people in the history of this country than white people. It's crazy. It's like they forget about history. They want us to forget about everything they did. And this fool fixed his mouth to say, well, I don't think people understand how blacks are. So yeah, everybody hates blacks. It's funny how white men can get their hands so dirty and pretend like we don't know what happened in history, as if we really don't know what took place in this country. Nobody is more demonic and savage than the American white man. The history of this country proves it. But of course, they want to use us. They want to make us the face of criminality and criminal activity in this country. They want to convince everybody it's the blacks that's ruining America. The blacks is ruining everything for everyone.
Look out, folks.
And you see how he used black. He used that preacher. Then he used a preacher, and he used a Negro bed wench to say, hey, these black people agree with us. They use a Negro bed wrench and a preacher. See, one thing white people love is when they get somebody black to say the things that they really want to say. Because he knows that people will call him a racist if he said it. So he'll use a black person to say it. This is why they like Tampon Daniels. This is why they like the angry woman. Let me tell you something. If you like the angry woman, something is wrong with you. If you see any black man up here talking about Sambos and raccoons and he doesn't mention angry man, he's being biased because he's cool with them on the back end. So they want to pick and choose who they want to call out for Samboism and somebody who's a raccoon. Don't sit up here talking about Sambos and sellouts if you ain't gonna mention the angry woman, and Tampon Daniels just tops the list. Any black man who gives a blind eye to angry man's buffoonery, you got to question you got to question the credibility of that person. There's no way you're gonna call out Samboism and leave angry man. How you gonna call out Samboism and leave angry man's name out of it? Because you're full of shit. You're picking and choosing who you want to call out for Samboism. You don't want to say his name because you're still cool with him. Yeah. I know what's going on, man. Check this out.
Now to make sure that we're not here a month.
Now we're gonna switch gears for a little bit, man. Matter of fact, if anybody want to hit the link and pull up, if you want to hit the link and pull up and add to the conversation, you're welcome to hit the link if you want to pull up and add to the conversation. Yeah, man, that's crazy. So if you want to add, you're welcome to add to it.
Months from now, 6 months from
this right here, a 1-year-old in Mississippi was shot down by a police officer or a sheriff deputy in Mississippi. Sad situation. I need everybody to bless that like button, man.
Now or a year from now, mourning the death of another 1-year-old child.
It's been 4 days since the community of Senatobia, Mississippi was turned upside down. A baby shot and killed after a Senatobia police officer fired into the car with the baby and his mother. This all happened Sunday afternoon at the Walmart on Highway 51 in Senatobia. But tonight, a lot of questions remain unanswered, along with the identity of that police officer. Fox 13's Rob Sneed had a chance to talk to the baby's family's attorney, rather. Rob.
Good evening to you, Darcy. Before we get into that, I just got off the phone with the MBI. And although the name of the officer has been circulating online and a competing media outlet is reporting the officer's name, tonight MBI told me directly that it was not officially, and it has not officially confirmed or released the name of the officer involved. And to us or to any media outlet, again, they have not confirmed or released the name of the officer involved to us or to any media outlet. That is directly from MBI tonight. But what is true, what is factual, is that we did speak with the attorney of that mother tonight, of that 1-year-old child, and tonight they said MBI needs to be more transparent.
She's devastated. You know, there are periods where she's sobbing and periods where she's able to manage, but it's been tough for her.
4 days after a Senatobia police officer shot and killed 1-year-old Cohen Wiley during an encounter outside of the Walmart off of Highway 51, his young mother is now planning his funeral. Her attorney says the 20-year-old is grieving the loss of her only child while also facing scrutiny from strangers online.
We really shouldn't be in a position to judge the death of this parent grieving. Everyone handles grief in a different way. It may hit you the day of, it may hit you at the funeral.
Some people were saying she didn't look emotional. She didn't look like somebody who just lost her baby. So she faced a lot of backlash from that. And she held the baby up while her homegirl was pulling out. So Walmart accused them of stealing diapers. The police pull up on some Rambo type of stuff. And it's like, damn, you're going to pull up and shoot over some damn diapers. Now, what the police going to say, the police are going to say, well, she used her vehicle as a weapon, so we fired upon them. Really? You know damn well that girl wasn't trying to run you over. But as black people, we got to understand that that's what they're going to say. So in order to avoid all of that, if the police are standing outside of your car with weapons and you pull out fast and they're sitting next to you, they're going to open fire on you. So I'm trying to save lives. I'm trying to give y'all some game. I'm trying to give you some police etiquette. If it wasn't for her friend driving off aggressive and fast while the police was next to them, the police had no excuse to open fire. In reality, they shouldn't have opened fire. She didn't hit anybody. Now, was she ignorant? Yes. But to open fire in a vehicle with a baby in it is just damn ridiculous at the same time. So the police was ignorant and her friend did something stupid. So ignorance met ignorance. If you didn't steal nothing, how come she didn't stop the vehicle? If nothing was stolen, how come she just didn't stop the vehicle to avoid a bad situation? She didn't want to stop the vehicle. She pulled off and the police opened fire. Oh, she tried to use her vehicle as a weapon. I feared for my life, so I opened fire. That's the excuse that they're using. Anyway, we're going to finish out the rest of this clip, man. Hit the like button, y'all.
Encounter outside of the Walmart off of Highway 51. His young mother is now planning his funeral. Her attorney says the 20-year-old is grieving the loss of her only child while also facing scrutiny from strangers online.
We really shouldn't be in a position to judge the death of this parent grieving. Everyone handles grief in a different way. It may hit you the day of, it may hit you at the funeral, it may hit you 6 months from now.
Van Turner says the family's focus remains on one thing: getting answers. NBI responded to our request today with a single statement. Quote, due to this being an open and ongoing investigation, no further comment will be made at this time. Turner says the response falls short and does not reflect the transparency NBI has promised to the public.
We are demanding that they release the footage now, the body cam footage, the footage that's been secured from Walmart. That needs to be disclosed. The community needs to be able to see what happened.
Turner says the community deserves to know what happened for themselves. The lack of answers has fueled frustration across the community. Many people saw what happened Tuesday evening. A relatively peaceful gathering outside of Walmart turned chaotic when officers deployed tear gas. The crowd, including members of the media, ran for cover. Okay, so they're shooting tear gas right now and tried to escape the cloud of gas.
They thought it was gunshots because, you know, they was rallying and protesting in front of Walmart, right, out there in Mississippi. So they came out there with the tear gas to make people disperse. Oh, the situation gets worse. Hit the like button.
Turned chaotic when officers deployed tear gas. The crowd, including members of the media, ran for cover. Okay, so they're shooting tear gas right now and tried to escape the cloud of gas.
Keep fighting, keep pushing. We need to demand the truth. We need to demand action. We need to demand transparency. We need to see the video footage.
And again, tonight you heard from the family attorney. The family is demanding more transparency from NBI as far as the child's funeral arrangements. Right now, no set date has been said. Darcy.
That is Fox 13's Rob Sneed reporting live in Senatobia, Mississippi tonight. Thank you so much, Rob. Well, Fox 13 has been pushing for answers, in fact, again since Sunday. As the chaos unfolded at the Walmart, our team tried to speak with Senatobia police. On Monday, we went to the police department again and we were told that someone would return our call. By Tuesday, we asked the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation about body cam video and the lack of information. We were told the agency could not comment. Also on Tuesday, our team reached out after officers deployed tear gas at protesters, affecting Fox 13's Rob Sneed, our photographer, and other members of the media. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For 5 days, Fox 13 has pressed for answers. As of tonight, there are still none, but we will continue digging for answers.
Sign here behind me, it says Justice for Cohen, the young man who actually just spoke to me, saying that they are wanting to have justice out here. Plenty of people are passionate, as you can see, hundreds out here, in fact, trying to get more information about what happened, calling for an end to police brutality. Many of them seem to be moving to the court, where the other press conference, more relative to what Mississippi Bureau of Investigation and other Mississippi investigators have been saying in this case. We are expecting to learn more about the incident that happened here surrounding the death of Cohen. We are also expecting to to learn more about the events that surrounded and the officer involved in this case as well. Now again, hundreds of people have been out here really calling for justice, calling for an end to police brutality in this case, and saying that they are tired of children, particularly black children, being killed out here. We've heard from several people, several organizers and speakers as well, talking about the impact of things like this happening in their community. Now, I do want to give you a little bit of a view of what's happening up top here, because that's been a really large point of discussion as a train passes by, so I apologize if it's difficult to hear. But you can see some sheriff's deputies actually lining the roof up.
Yeah, man, it's loud, man.
Trying to get a more precise view of what is going on here. Several people have been saying that they feel that is unnecessary, trying to get more of a real peaceful rally going on here. So again, you can see lots of people going, walking, standing in solidarity with one another, holding up signs in honor of Cohen and trying to really support his family out here. You've also heard many of those people talking about the impact of just being in this community and really standing with one another in situations and circumstances like this one. So again, as we continue to talk to people out here, and we expect to hear more from Mississippi authorities in this case, we will be sure to bring that information to you. Again, we are expecting to hear more, particularly about the officer in this situation, and trying to understand a little bit more of what happened here in this scenario. It seems like the conference that was going on at City Hall is just kind of wrapping up here. Sure to bring it to you, and we will be sure to bring more information.
All right, so that's what's going on out there, man. That is what's going on, Jack. You guys know it. Matter of fact, I want y'all to hear what the mother had to say. Hold on, that's the attorney right there. This is what the mother had to say. It was just stupid. I want y'all to hear this.
Me, my son, and another friend of mine was at Walmart. As we was leaving out the Walmart, they tried to stop her, but I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me. By the time me and my baby got in the car, she came. And then when we was backing up, they was running out the come. I raised my baby up because they with guns. She my baby up.
Okay, so basically what she's saying is she went to the store with her friend. She took her baby. She said whatever happened had nothing to do with her. Hold on one second.
It was me, my son, and another friend of mine was at Walmart. As we was leaving out the Walmart, baby got in the car, she came. And then when we was backing up, they was running out the come. I raised my baby up because they with guns. She my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car. By the time I set my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, and the other shots hit her in her arm and her thigh. And we left and went to Senatobia hospital where he was pronounced dead at the scene. And they told me I wasn't gonna be able to see him until he get back from Jackson. She got airlift and the police told me I couldn't leave out the hospital where they had out. And the crowd was questioning them, asking them what happened. They was like, she was shoplifting. But the passenger, it was me. They wasn't talking about me, they was talking about the driver. But on the little, what's it called, self-checkout, it's cameras, they can see when she got the diapers and walked out. But yeah, they tried to say that she forcefully was trying to drive and hit them, but they was all on the right side, and she was driving towards the left. They just personally just shot in the car. They didn't charge me. They ain't charged me with nothing. They just let me go. And they didn't say nothing. They just kept telling the crowd that they was shoplifting. It was me, my son, and another friend of mine was at Walmart. As we was leaving out the Walmart, they tried to stop her. But I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me. By the time me and my baby got in the car, she came. And then when we was backing up, they was running out the come. I raised my baby up because they with guns. She my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car. As I was, by the time I sat my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, and the other shots hit her in her arm and her thigh. And we left and went to Senatobia hospital, where he was pronounced dead at the scene. And they told me I wasn't gonna be able to see him until he get back from Jackson. She got elderly, and the police told me I couldn't leave out the hospital where they had out. And the crowd was questioning them, asking them what happened. They was like, she was shoplifting. But the passenger, it was me. They wasn't talking about me. They was talking about the driver. But on the little, what's it called, self-checkout, it's cameras. They can see when she got the diapers and walked out. But yeah, they tried to say that she forcefully was trying to drive and hit them. But they was all on the right side, and she was driving towards the left. They just personally just shot in the car. They didn't charge me. They ain't charged me with nothing. They just let me go. They didn't say nothing. They just kept telling the crowd that they was shoplifting.
So there you go, man. What y'all think about that, man? What's y'all thoughts on the situation? Hit the like button if you haven't already. What's y'all thoughts on the situation, man? Because you say, well, if you guys wasn't shoplifting, when the police pulled up, why did she run? Why did she hit the gas? Why did she accelerate? Now, they're going to show you some of the camera. You know how they do. Now, I did a story in 2024 where a pregnant woman, she was black, her and her friends were stealing alcohol. Matter of fact, I'm going to show the video. They were stealing alcohol. I believe this was Columbus, Ohio. This woman was pregnant. They were stealing a gang of alcohol because they were trying to go to some party. Anyway, by the time she gets to the parking lot, she hops in her vehicle. The police hops out, right? And the police confronts her. Now, instead of her just saying, okay, what's going on? She turns on her car and she accelerates. Keep in mind, there's police on both sides of the vehicles. So when she takes off real quick, the one officer whips out the strap and started busting. Unalives her and her unborn baby. Terrible situation. It took place in 2024, maybe 2023, but the story got popular in 24. But anyway, I want you guys to see what happened. The angle is not so clear, but you can get an idea about what was going on just based on the little angle that they gave us. See, they're never going to give you the full video because they don't want to incriminate the officer. So what they did was they gave us a small snippet of what happened when the shots was fired and that 1-year-old lost his life. Check it. Hit the like button. Get them up for your boy.
I'm Ruben Diaz. Here's your ABC 24 News update. The Mississippi officer involved in the shooting death of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley is currently on leave. In the meantime, people in Senatobia have packed a Board of Aldermen meeting demanding to see video footage of that incident. Here's ABC's Ezekiel Talamako with more.
Community members filled Senatobia City Hall following the death of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley after he was shot and killed in the Senatobia Walmart right off of US 51. Now, when it comes to community members, they say that they've had enough and they're demanding for evidence when it comes to what took place here on Sunday. According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers with the Senatobia Police Department.
See, there you go right there. There goes a small little angle. They're not going to show you that much. They're going to give you a snippet.
According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers with the Senatobia Police Department and Tate County Sheriff's Office responded to a shoplifting call Sunday at the Walmart on US 51. Investigators say that officers encountered 2 subjects and a child leaving the store with the Senatobia Police Department place here on Sunday. According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers with the Senatobia Police Department and
see, that's her right there in the car. They hopped in the car. Police on both sides. She pulls off real fast. They open fire. This poor little baby loses his life because he has reckless adults. He's in the care of reckless adults.
According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers with the Senatobia Police Department and Tate County Sheriff's Office responded to a shoplifting call Sunday at the Walmart on US 51. Investigators say that officers encountered 2 subjects and a child leaving the store in a vehicle. The MBI.
See, black people, it's not about arguing. You know, if you do that as a black person, they're going to shoot you. I'm trying to keep you alive. It's not about arguing about, well, listen, I'm trying to keep your black ass alive. If the police is standing on both sides of your vehicle and you pull off real fast in an aggressive manner, they're going to open fire. They're going to shoot you. Listen, homies, I've covered way too many stories with a similar outcome. I'm gonna show it one more time. This right here was a fatal mistake. Pulling off real aggressive and fast, accelerating fast while the police is standing right next to the vehicle. They're gonna use that as an excuse to open fire on you.
Here on Sunday. According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers with the Senatobia Police Department and Tate County Sheriff's Office responded to a shoplifting call Sunday at the Walmart on US 51. Investigators say that officers encountered 2 subjects and a child leaving the store in a vehicle. The MBI says that the driver allegedly drove towards officers and nearly struck one of them before an officer fired their weapon. Now, the vehicle later arrived at a local hospital where 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was pronounced dead and another person was listed in critical condition. During Tuesday's Board of Aldermen meeting, residents called for the release of the video following the incident.
So we want some footage, okay? Before y'all tamper with it and do all what y'all do, before y'all do all that right there, we'd like to see some clear-cut footage as to what happened at Walmart parking lot and what caused this deranged officer to feel the need to fire on a woman and a child.
MBI is over the investigation. Listen what I'm saying. I would like to see some footage just as well as everybody else.
Now, we know that these white people are racist. We know this. Don't give them a reason. Don't give them an excuse. Don't give these people, don't give them the excuse that they're looking for. That's my advice to black people. We already know they're racist. We understand that white supremacy exists, so you got to move accordingly. You can't be pulling off like that fast with police officers on both sides of your vehicle. They're going to open fire. That's what they're trained to do, especially when they're dealing with a black person. They didn't give a damn about that kid being in that car, man. Now, what the officer going to say, I didn't know it was a kid in there, man. Everybody knew it was a kid in there. They was in the, listen, how you gonna say you didn't know it was a kid in there when they just told you there was 2 women and a child, and the women were being accused of shoplifting, taking diapers. So of course they knew that these women had a little child with them, an infant, a 1-year-old. But the officer gonna say, man, I didn't know it was a baby in that car. Now he gonna play dumb.
In order to make a decision, I mean, you get what I'm saying? Brother, I understand. I understand. We need to suspend him without pay. Suspending him without pay until NBI finishes their investigation.
City leaders also announced that the officer involved had been placed on administrative leave without pay pending the outcome of the investigation. Mississippi Department of Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall says that investigators are working to collect evidence
And then you got to know this too, man. A lot of those cops in Mississippi are black, though. What'd be crazy is if now people say, well, if the officer was black, I'm pretty sure they would have released the name of the police officer if it was black, because there was a few police, sheriff deputies, police, whatever they were. I believe it was the sheriff, right? Now it'd be cold if they say, well, actually the bullet that unalived the 1-year-old came from a black police officer gun, not a white police officer's gun. So right now we really don't know for sure, because they were there. You had white cops out there, you had black cops out there. Who fired the fatal shot that took this 1-year-old's life? Did it come from the white police officer gun, or did it come from the black police officer's gun? Now that's a good question. Haven't you guys wondered why haven't you guys wondered why they're not releasing the name of the police officer? Oh, well, no, we're not going to release his name. We're going to keep that private.
To complete a thorough review of the incident.
It's one of those things that across the board, it takes time. Again, this happened on Sunday. We got to gather a lot of that evidence, and it doesn't just happen as quick as everybody wants it to. I understand that, but I cannot allow expediency to overtake the quality of the work that we're expected to do in these types of cases.
The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation tells ABC 24 specifically that this remains an ongoing investigation, and that, again, they're going to continue to send more information to the Attorney General of Mississippi when it comes to what took place at the Walmart right here at US 51. Now, when it comes to the residents...
Oh, so they got his name out. Okay. I'm going to look it up right now.
that I've spoken to, they are furious when it comes to the death of this 1-year-old child. Reporting in Senatobia, Mississippi, I'm Ezekiel Telemaco, ABC 24 News.
Now, the family of baby Cohen has retained nationally renowned civil rights attorney Ben Crump to represent them. In a statement, Attorney Crump said Cohen Wiley was a baby. His mother, who has not been charged with any crimes, says she was trying to communicate to officers that there was a baby in the car, but they fired anyway. That's your ABC.
So that's like, this is cold right here, man. You talk about
story. The mother of the one-year-old boy who was shot and killed by law enforcement in Senatobia Sunday outside the Walmart. She is sharing her side of the story.
Yeah, she says her son, Cohen Wiley, was shot in the rib cage and was pronounced dead at the hospital. And the shoplifting incident had nothing to do with her. Action News 5's Michaela Redmond joining us live now from Senatobia. Michaela.
Joy, that video was shared with us by civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is now representing the family as they fight for justice for Cohen. Crump says they are demanding all surveillance, body, and dash cam video be made public.
I raised my baby up because they gun. She had no tent. I raised my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car. As I was opening the door, so the door flew back in. By the time I sat my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots.
One of those shots hit 1-year-old.
So what you're saying is the baby wasn't in the car seat. The baby wasn't in the car seat. You're holding the baby in your hand. And unfortunately, this is sad, man. This is a sad story, man. Just look at that kid, man. This is a young black boy. Gone. Only 1 year old.
Trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car. As I was opening the door, so the door flew back in. By the time I sat my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots.
One of those shots hit 1-year-old Cohen Wiley in the rib cage. Tragically, Cohen did not survive. His mother, Valicia, grieving the loss of her son, is now speaking out.
As we was leaving out the Walmart, they tried to stop her, but I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me.
According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, Senatobia police and Tate County Sheriff's deputies responded to a shoplifting call where they saw 2 adults and the child running from the store to a vehicle. MBI says the driver then drove in the direction of officers, nearly hitting one.
I just don't want the narrative to be that she tried to hit them. Every time that car moved, they moved.
This woman, who does not want to be named, witnessed the entire situation. In this viral video from the shooting, she is sitting in the silver car watching everything, including when the officer fired shots.
She's don't stop this car. Pop, pop. I don't want to say it was anger, but I want to say it was disbelief. How dare she get out of that spot and keep going?
Valicia says she hasn't been charged with anything. Civil rights attorneys Ben Crump and Van Turner are now representing the family.
She's begging for his life, and the first bullet kills him.
Turner says the family is demanding transparency and accountability, that all surveillance, dash, and body camera video be made public.
If you look at the trajectory of the bullet shots, everything is to the passenger side. That indicates that they were trying to go away from the officer and not run the officer over.
The family also wants the officer identified and treated like anyone else would be for fatally shooting a child. Turner says trainings and policies in Senatobia should be under question. Now, the Walmart is open again following a protest last night where tear gas was deployed by law enforcement. There was a large police presence throughout the day.
Oh, man, this is tragedy, man. Tragedy. It's crazy, man. You know, just one of them things, man. Let's see what
Hey guys, I'm bored. Want to talk about all the people and even an animal that the police have shot lately? Great, me too. On May 27th, 2026, Cobb County Police in Kennesaw, Georgia shot and killed 25-year-old Cortez Eatman. They say that they were responding to a shoplifting call. They told him to stop, he ran, and he pulled a gun. Eyewitnesses say that the run was more of a light jog, and none of the witness interviews I saw mentioned a weapon. On June 14th, 2026, police shot and killed 1-year-old Cohen Wiley, claiming that they were also trying to stop a shoplifting case. We're going to come back to this one in a moment. On June 13th, 2026, police showed up to a call in LA and shot a dog, claiming the dog was charging at them. And on June 11, 2026, footage was just released of a police officer who accidentally shot another police officer in their own parking garage during what they described as horseplay. To be clear, if any ordinary citizen did any of these things, you would be in jail right now, probably being held without bond. But let's get back to Cohen Wiley. On June 14, 2026 in Mississippi, police responded to a shoplifting call at Walmart. They, of course, claimed the vehicle was driving towards an officer, and then that officer shot into the vehicle. 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was in that vehicle and is dead. Cohen's mother was a passenger in the vehicle, as was Cohen, and she gave an interview on Ben Crump's channel.
By the time me and my baby got in the car, she came, and then when we was backing up, they was running out the cum. I raised my baby up because they withdrew their gun. She had no tent. I raised my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car. As I was opening the door, so the door flew back in. By the time I sat my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, and the other shots hit her in her arm and her thigh.
A lot of people criticized her for speaking publicly. I actually think the interview was fine, maybe even helped some people understand the strength of her case. For starters, she talked about how she wasn't driving the vehicle, she was a passenger. I've also seen no evidence proving that she nor anyone else in the car was involved in any shoplifting, and even if someone in that car had shoplifted, I don't think it's reasonable to shoot into a car at a Walmart parking lot and kill a baby. Like, we have to be so serious right now. The part that stood out to me was she said that she held her baby up so officers could see there was a baby in the vehicle and presumably not do something wild like shoot inside the vehicle. If that's true, and if the officer saw the child and fired anyway, go ahead and give her things, give her money and give it to her now. This is horrible. Now, I understand the competing interest here. Police officers want to go home and not be killed in a line of duty. I understand that, but I can't help but think that if officer safety is truly the top priority as an officer, I can't understand why you would place your body in front of a moving car. If that's what happened here, I mean, at what point do you have the need to mitigate your own injuries and make sure you don't get injured by not jumping in front of a car that is moving over a suspected shoplifting case? You know what I mean? Like, because if you step into a dangerous situation and then you react to that danger by firing your weapon, you've created a risk not only for yourself, but for everyone in the vehicle, including the passenger, and in this case, a 1-year-old baby. The officer involved has been placed on administrative leave and the investigation continues. Hey guys, I'm bored. Want to talk about all the people and even
All right, so there you go, man. Sad situation.
Gather outside demanding answers in the officer-involved shooting that killed a baby. This happened just moments after people gathered outside Senatobia City Hall calling for transparency in the investigation. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst. Tonight, we've been told the officer involved in that shooting has been placed on leave. WRG's Raven Copeland joins us now live from Senatobia. And Raven, describe to us what happened at that Walmart tonight.
Well, Greg, I can tell you it looks much different than what it did about 3 hours ago, where there were dozens of protesters. But one thing that does remain is law enforcement. They remain in front of this Walmart, just standing here waiting for anything, I guess, any protest or anything to happen here. But I want to tell you what I witnessed and I experienced. I will say there have been a few minutes of me being here, and within 5 minutes, that's when law enforcement deployed that tear gas. I felt the tear gas. I felt it in my throat. I could smell it. It blinded me. A lot of people were sent in a frenzy. Dozens of people were running for their car, running for safety. It was honestly a moment of chaos. And this happens as the community continues to call for answers in the deadly officer-involved shooting of Cohen Wiley.
They both made poor decisions. They made a poor decision. They made a poor decision to pull off while the police was right there. They should have just stopped the vehicle. They should have just stopped the vehicle. Poor decision. Police officers fire into the vehicle. Another poor decision. You see what I'm saying? Like, to fire in a vehicle is crazy. But at the same time, I want to teach our people how to avoid these situations. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to keep y'all alive. Anytime you pull off fast, aggressive like that with the police standing outside of your vehicle, trust and believe they got their weapons ready. Trust and believe they always got their weapons ready. So when you make a move like that and you driving reckless, they're gonna shoot at you. I've seen too many cases just like this. When the people in the vehicle, police say stop the vehicle. You don't want to stop the vehicle. They're right next to you. You pull off in an aggressive manner. You hit the accelerator. They're gonna open fire. I've seen it happen too many times, bro. Unfortunately, a 1-year-old lost his life in this situation. Now that's cold.
Calls for justice and answers continue in Senatobia after 1-year-old was killed in an officer-involved shooting Sunday. Dozens of community members gathered outside City Hall today, calling for the officer's arrest and termination.
It was just blatant shooting. A reckless, careless, callous, might have even been cowardice act. So how do you explain that? You can't explain that to a family. You can't explain that even to a supervisor and to a commander.
Being black is the weapon. Like, that is literally the weapon they trying to demonize. No matter if you're 1 year old or you 60 years old, if you're black, you're already the bottom tier to them.
Mississippi Bureau of Investigation.
That's true. Now, two things can be true at the same time. We understand that's how they look at us, right? But when you give them the ammunition that they're looking for, you're going to put yourself and your loved ones in a bad situation. And unfortunately, she put her baby in a line of fire. You see what I'm saying? Now, what the white people are going to say, see, I told you black people keep pretending to be victims. They don't want to be held accountable. She keep pretending to be a victim. All black people, there's a lot of truth to what she's saying. But at the same time, black people, we got to learn how to conduct ourselves better. If we know that we're under surveillance, if we know that we got a target on our back, there's a certain way that you got to move out here. You know, that's just the reality of it.
Investigation, which is handling the case, says this all began when Senatobia police received a shoplifting call at Walmart. When officers saw 2 women and a child leave the store and get into a car, investigators say they tried to stop the car. However, police say the driver refused to stop and drove in the officers' direction, nearly hitting them. At least one officer reportedly fired a shot at the car, and at that point, the driver took off from the scene and drove to the hospital, where 1-year-old Cohen unfortunately died from his injuries. The family has since hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who says, quote, "We intend to seek justice for baby Cohen and the life that was stolen from him." Tuesday, Senatobia also heard from Mississippi Department of Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall about the status of the investigation.
We will release that once that investigation is complete, and once that part of the process is done. If you think about any other criminal case, we never release evidence before that time. It will be a thorough investigation, and it will be one where transparency is there.
Tuesday night, the city of Senatobia announced that the officer involved in the deadly shooting has been placed on administrative leave. Tonight, there are still a lot of unanswered questions regarding the circumstances that led up to this deadly officer-involved shooting, as calls for transparency and accountability continue tonight. Reporting live from Senatobia, Mississippi, for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, we'll be waiting for answers. Raven, thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The attorney, Van Turner is the attorney.
In this case.
What has the family told you about their understanding of what happened on Sunday, and what questions do they still want answered?
Well, obviously, we want to see the body cam footage from the officers. We also want to see the footage from Walmart, and the family is just wondering why the officer dispatched his service gun knowing that there was a child in the car and knowing that these individuals were actually trying to get away from the officer and not run him over. And so these are questions that we have to answer, and these are questions that we're going to work on as we continue to investigate the case. We're working on that now. We've already been on the phone with Attorney Crump, and we've met with the family, so we are coordinating those future meetings now.
Have you had any communication with the Senatobia Police Department or other investigators? And what information have you shared with the family so far?
We have not. I understand that there was a press conference yesterday, and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is investigating. And so at this particular time, we've not had any communication with the Senatobia Police Department, and we're awaiting what the MBI finds out during this investigation.
What about the family immediate concerns regarding the investigation into Officer Bob's news? What steps are they asking authorities to take?
Well,
we can't even really hear the question, so I'm gonna go to another clip because yeah, there's the audio sucks, bro. Sucks bad. Hit the like button, family.
During that process. And with that, Mayor, I'll be glad to answer any questions about our process, how we do it, why we do it, and anything else that I can't answer. I'm not going to get into details.
Hold on, man. That's not the video I'm looking for. It's another video that I was looking for.
Topping your news today, we're now hearing from one of the attorneys representing the family of one-year-old Cohen Wiley, who was killed in an officer-involved shooting in Senatobia, Mississippi. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. WREG's Raven Copeland joins us now live from Senatobia. And Raven, Van Turner says there is a need for transparency, right?
Yeah, that's right, Alex and April. Van Turner says the release of body cam footage and surveillance video at Walmart will help answer a lot of unanswered questions in this case. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says Senatobia police received a shoplifting call and saw two women and a child leave the store and get into a car. The MBI says officers attempted to stop the car several times, but the driver allegedly refused and drove into an officer's direction, which resulted in an officer firing shots. The driver and baby Cohen were both rushed to the hospital, where he unfortunately died from his injuries. In a video we received from the Ben Crump law firm, Cohen's mother said she was not accused or arrested for shoplifting, and the driver wasn't driving in the officer's direction. Instead, the child's mother alleges police ran towards the car with guns drawn before shots were fired. MBI says the body cam footage will not.
Yeah, they ran towards the car with guns before shots was fired. I already knew, because that's how they get down. So if police are running at your car with guns, you better off just stopping, man. You keep driving, you're going to get shot, because they're going to say, oh, they used their vehicle as a weapon. Now, they're saying that they were driving in the opposite direction of the sheriff deputies or the police officers. Well, this is Walmart. They got video surveillance in the parking lot. So if they try to show us some blurry video, we know they're full of it. Now, they showed us a glimpse. Matter of fact, let's go back right here. Here's a glimpse of what happened.
The car with guns drawn before shots were fired. MBI says the body cam footage will not be released at this time, as the case remains under investigation. However, Turner says unanswered questions over what exactly happened Sunday could car with guns drawn before shots were fired. MBI says the body cam footage will not be released at this time, as the case remains under investigation. However, Turner says unanswered questions over what exactly happened Sunday could quickly be answered with the release of video evidence.
I want it right now. I mean, they have the ability to release that footage now. I don't think releasing the footage will impede any investigation. The facts are where they are. Baby Cohen is dead, and we need transparency.
This deadly officer-involved shooting is just one of the incidents we've reported on over the years. And tonight at 5, you'll hear about the changes Turner says he wants to see when it comes to policies within the Senatobia Police Department. Reporting live from Senatobia, Mississippi, for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG, News Channel 3.
All right. Thank you, Raven.
Yeah, man.
Tonight, a North Mississippi pastor calls for peaceful action following the unrest in Senatobia this week over the shooting death of a 1-year-old by a police officer. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. That shooting happened outside a Walmart store over the weekend after officers responded to a shoplifting call. Protesters demonstrated Tuesday and police used tear gas to break up the crowd. WREG's Caitlin Barker attended the event tonight and shares the community's next steps.
Take that as it was your child. How would you feel if something like that would happen?
One by one, pastors and community leaders addressed the crowd to discuss a course of action following the officer-involved shooting that took the life of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley, a tragedy many leaders believe should have never taken place.
A person should not lose their life because something was stolen, especially to someone that's determined by the community to serve and protect people.
While multiple opinions and beliefs were shared, it was clear the goal tonight was to get the community on one accord so that justice is served for Cohen Wiley.
We're not trying to go viral or anything like that. We want to receive victory through this. We want to make sure that people are held accountable.
Some of the solutions discussed tonight include scheduling a community prayer rally, meeting with elected officials, and meeting with law enforcement leadership. I'm Caitlin Barker reporting for your news leader, WREG.
So there you go, man. So listen, man, we're going to wrap this one up, man. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Should I stretch it to the 2-hour mark? Maybe I'll stretch it to the 2-hour mark. Let me see what other videos I got left on this. Check this out. Hit the like button if you haven't already. The game is coming heavy, baby.
Thank you for joining us here on ABC 24 Plus. I'm Lauren Herman. Right now, we understand that there is a rally that is going on in Senatobia, Mississippi, in response to the death of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley and an incident that happened outside of a Walmart off of US 51 in Senatobia. You can see that live footage right there as people are protesting the police in Senatobia, and they are calling for police accountability and justice for Cohen. Now, again, you can see several people holding up signs. That is very similar to what has been happening across that town over the past couple of days. Again, this incident happened on Sunday where police had told us that there was a person, we now know it to be Valencia Wiley, 1-year-old Cohen Wiley's mother, as well as another person who she said was her friend. They were leaving a Walmart when officers or potentially security approached her friend about shoplifting, she says, and then she says her and Cohen exited the store. Now, you can see several people over there holding up signs, walking around, likely chanting for police accountability as we are working to get more of that audio. But again, that is a scene that we have seen several times here over the past couple of days. People are trying to figure out why this happened. They have been telling us that they believe Senatobia police used unnecessary force, particularly the police officer that shot Cohen, as well as the other person who was in the car, according to Valencia Wiley. And we also understand at this point that, of course, there is an ongoing investigation into this case. We do not know the condition of the other person who was shot. We are waiting for more information about that from either the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation or from the
So the driver got shot and the baby got shot. The mother of the baby didn't get shot. The female who was driving got shot. But it's sad that the baby passed away, man. You know, that's a sad situation. Makes me, it's terrible, man. That kid didn't stand a chance, man. 1 year old and already, you know.
The Senatobia area hospital where Cohen died and where the friend was also sent as well. But many people here are calling for justice, trying to understand what exactly happened, what led to this kind of a confrontation, and why a shot or multiple shots potentially were fired in this incident. Again, there was a lot of gray area here, still a lot of unknowns. ABC 24 has been reaching out to MBI as well as several other officials over the last couple of days, trying to figure out all of the pieces of what has happened here. And of course, as we continue to get more answers and learn more about this investigation, we will bring it to you. But you can see there looks to be a little bit more than a dozen people out there trying to call. You see that sign that says justice for baby Cohen, it looks like. You also see people looking like they're shouting, walking around, trying to get the attention of any cars or passersby that happen to be in that area as well. Again, walking you through some of the events of what had happened here. On Tuesday in particular is when all of the rallying really initially started following Sunday's shooting and incident that happened outside of that Walmart. On Tuesday, the rally initially began outside of Senatobia City Hall, where several people were waiting to get inside of City Hall to speak with what looked like the mayor and board of aldermen as they were making some decisions potentially about this case and other city-related incidences that they were discussing in that. Then it moved from City Hall to the Tate County Courthouse, where we heard more from the Mississippi Department of Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall. He walked through the course of the investigation, and you can see the incident that I'm about to get to next. After everybody left the Tate County Courthouse, the tear gassing of hundreds of people who left the Tate County Courthouse and went to that Walmart on US 51 where that shooting happened. You can see all of that tear gas. I was in that. Several of our other crew members were there as all of that was happening, as these interactions with officers and sheriff's deputies were happening. You can see hundreds of people are in that parking lot. All of them were yelling at the officers, demanding accountability, asking them why this happened, recording the entire thing. And just as quickly as all you see right there, all of those officers and all of those officials are lining that parking lot, that tear gas went off just that quickly. First, we heard a bang. We weren't sure if it was a gunshot or something else. And then a second one went off, and then everybody started to run. And that's, of course, when we saw, as you can see, that officer rolling that tear gas out, and then another one kicking it, more trying to disperse the crowd, and people tying T-shirts around their faces so that they could breathe. They could still help one another walk around. You saw people linked up, hand in hand, arm in arm, trying to make sure that they made it to their cars safely. So clearly a very emotional couple of days for many people, but particularly on Tuesday, as you're seeing everybody out there as well. Now, we do see it there on your screen from Sunday. Again, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says that officers were responding to a shoplifting call when they saw two adults. Again, as we understand it now, one of those adults was Venetia Wiley, who is 1-year-old Cohen Wiley's mother.
Shout out to the 7030 for the 5 on the Cash App. I appreciate you, Brody.
As well as another person who she says was her friend. They were running from the store, officers say, and then jumped into a car. Now, investigators are saying the driver also drove towards officers. The driver is also expected to be that friend, and they fired shots. Again, 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was shot and later died at a local hospital. And we also heard more from Cohen's mom, Valencia Wiley, who shared her side of the story and spoke more on the incidents that happened. Take a listen.
It was me, my son, and another friend of mine who was at Walmart. As we was leaving out the Walmart, they tried to stop her, but I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me. By the time me and my baby got in the car, she came, and then when we was backing up, they was running out the come. I raised my baby up because they withdrawed their gun. She had no tent. I raised my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car as I was opening the door, so the door flew back in. By the time I sat my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, and the other shots hit her in her arm and her thigh. And we left and went to Senatobia Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at the scene. And they told me I wasn't gonna be able to see him until he get back from Jackson. She got airlifted, and the police told me I couldn't leave out the hospital until somewhere I couldn't leave out, couldn't nobody come in. But I ended up walking out, and the crowd was questioning them, asking them what happened. They was like, she was shoplifting. But the passenger, it was me. They wasn't talking about me. They was talking about the driver. But on the little, what's it called, self-checkout, they can see, it's cameras, they can see when she got the diapers and walked out. But yeah, they tried to say that she forcefully was trying to drive and hit them, but they was all on the right side and she was driving towards the left. They just personally just shot in the car.
Did they try to charge you with anything?
No, they didn't charge me. They ain't charged me with nothing. They just let me go. And they didn't say nothing. They just kept telling the crowd that they was shoplifting. But I don't know if they found anything because it's nothing to find.
Okay.
And again, that was Valencia Wiley, 1-year-old Cohen Wiley's mother, speaking in that video. We're taking you back now live to Senatobia, Mississippi, where you can see those protesters are still on the sidewalk there, holding up signs saying things like justice for baby Cohen and trying to get a better understanding of everything that had happened in this case.
So the police already had their guns out. They wasn't just standing there with their weapons on their hip. They pulled up with guns out, and it was like, damn, you pull up with guns out for some diapers? Now, I understand you want to enforce the law, but damn, to pull up with guns over some damn diapers is crazy. You ready to unalive somebody over some stolen diapers? Now, my thing is this. The moment that they seen the guns drawn, they should have stopped that vehicle. They should have stopped the vehicle. There's no way you drive off like that. There's no way that you accelerate like that when the police got a weapons drawn right beside you. Of course, they're going to say that you was using your vehicle as a weapon. So the smart thing to do is, let me just stop the vehicle and say, hey, what's going on? You know, because you're dealing with some trigger happy police officers or sheriff deputies. Some of these police officers are trigger happy. They're looking for any excuse to shoot. This right here is a prime example. But anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. This is King Supreme. Yeah, the smartest thing for them to do would have been to stop. Whoever was driving that car, her friend that was driving the car was an idiot. The person that was driving that car was a damn idiot, a dummy. She's dumb. Anytime you mix stupidity with racism, that's a disaster waiting to happen, because that's exactly what happened here. You get some race, listen, now, there was black police officers out there. I don't know who's responsible. We don't know if the bullet came from the white police officer's gun or the black police officer gun, because there were white guys out there and black guys out there. And you got to understand, in the state of Mississippi, a lot of your police officers are black. So we just don't know if it was a white officer or a black officer who pulled the trigger that unalived the 1-year-old baby. We still really don't know. We really don't know yet. We're still looking for answers. Anyway, man, peace, love, and blessings to everybody, man. I got to get up out of here. It's King Supreme. Make sure that you guys like the content. Make sure that you guys hype all of my videos for sure. Catch me on the next one. I'll be back with another stream. Hey, man, happy Juneteenth to everybody. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. I think I'm going to make my second show a Juneteenth show. I think we'll have like a Juneteenth show, man. Maybe we'll do it like around 2:30, 3 o'clock. Peace to everybody. I'm out. Catch me on the second show. I'm gone.